You know, I feel like Luca was just watching a tennis match and just like heard the grunts and it was just like, but more.
I can make it sexier than that.
Hello and welcome to Cassette, where you can eject wherever you want.
Sure
But please don't forget to rewind. I'm Ethan.
I'm Annmarie.
And if you couldn't tell, we saw Challengers.
Oh, yes, we did. Luca, one of our favorite directors.
Yeah, Luca, you know, he's such a favorite director of ours that we can't even remember his last name.
Wait, it's just more
We just, you know, we're so just on a personal level with him that we just call him Luca.
Wait, now I can't think of his last name. I love him.
I'm whipping it out. Hold on.
Wait, please, Ethan, no.
Luca Guadagnino?
Put some Italian on it.
Luca Guadagnino. Well, that actually kind of worked.
That was good. That's how you pronounce any Italian's last name. Lavorata.
Wow. You learn something new every day.
We saw
We
Challengers.
did see Challengers. And for all you who don't know, Challengers is directed by the Call Me By Your Name director, Luca Guadagnino. Right, like that's how you say it, Shannon.
I want everyone to know when Ethan pronounced that, he put his hands together in the classic Italian way.
Oh yeah, like the emoji or whatever,
Yes.
like the chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss.
And mwah, Luca, basically throughout this entire movie.
Oh my goodness, yes. It has Zendaya, it has Mike Fass, it has Josh O'Connell. It's a good cast.
Oh
those
my
three.
gosh, yeah, like and their chemistry
Oh, it's so hot.
is so hot. But yeah, for all you who don't know, this is basically Luca taking tennis and then just saying, let's make it more sexy and like add some threesome elements in there. And boom, you got yourself a movie. I'm not gonna go too much into the like it's a great little love triangle.
We don't want to be demonetized.
Yeah. Well, we'll get a little slightly
We'll
dirt
talk
here
about
in,
it
in
a
the
little
spoiler,
bit.
but for now, you get to hear us absolutely rave about how good of a director Luca is.
Oh my goodness. Luca, I love you. You just make things it's so pretty. We were talking about this after we came out. We love that this movie was shot on film.
Oh my gosh, which is rare for you, by the way, because I know you're
Yes.
not a big fan of grain and all that. When we saw Oppenheimer.
Yeah, we saw Oppenheimer on film, and I didn't love it as much as like the IMAX feature of it. But this, I really enjoyed it. Was on film. I don't know. It kind of gave like a timely matter to it. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, it really did add it, especially since this was told like from different time periods. Like,
Yeah.
it really did add to the immersion factor.
Mhm.
And along with that is Trent Reznor and Atticus of Ross. Yeah, I think Atticus Ross. Their score.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Just, you know, they just keep bringing it, like the Social Network.
Mhm.
And, I think they did, it might have been just Trent Reznor. I could be wrong. But they did the TMNT movie that came out recently.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
the score is just so good. It's like, it's more about the immersion than it is about anything else. And I
Yeah.
love that. It has a little bit of that Hans Zimmer vibe in there where it's more about the immersion than like the romanticism of it all.
Well, and this movie does it super well because, like, Zendaya's character gets her own kind of little score as well as, like, a techno score to it. And then it, like, kind of intertwines other music elements into it. I'm thinking about one scene where it, like, takes, like, this soft melody and then it goes...
Yeah, they're really good at that. Just, like, that whole synthesizer kind of, like, changing it on a dime kind of
Yeah.
intenseness. And just such a great job. I'm probably going to be listening to this score later.
Really?
Yeah, it's going to be great.
It works so well, too. Like, this movie is a tennis movie, but it is not about tennis. It's about sexiness.
It's about the sexiness.
No, it's very much like a threesome movie, and we kind of alluded to it. The chemistry between the three leads is incredible. Like, Zendaya,
Oh, yeah.
there needs to be a case study about Zendaya's acting career because, oh my gosh, to go from Disney Channel and do that kind of stuff, and then being Spider-Man and everything. And then she's like, no, I want to take acting seriously. Like, you go for it, girl.
Yeah, I mean, this is her year. You got Doom Part 2 that just came out.
I forgot she's in Doom Part 2.
How could you forget?
I don't
you
know.
out of all people.
I know.
That's like a sin somewhere.
I'm
it's like in the
sorry.
11th commandment or something.
Please forgive me.
Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, no, this whole thing with Zendaya, like, this might be her best role. I'm
Wow.
I think so.
Wait till Dune Part 3 comes out. No,
Well-
I honestly think, like, she is levels upon, like, other people. Like, she should be in the conversation with Anya Taylor-Joy, like, as one of the...
like highest actresses right now.
Yes, she's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, and seriously, like, that's no understatement to what I just said. Like, Doom Part 2, I think I sent that review too. I thought, like, this is where Zendaya, like,
Yeah.
had her greatest performance. You know, she's so good, so good. And then this movie comes out where she's more of a lead than she was in the
Mhm.
previous one. And I'm just like, damn, girl.
Yeah.
Like, she is a goddess in this movie in more ways, like, in regards to the power, the beauty, like, everything, the energy she brings.
She also plays such an extremely unlikable character, but made me like her in a weird way. Like, the Tashi Duncan character is so obsessed with tennis and being the greatest at tennis that she pushes this off onto these two guys. But then, like, she does stuff in the movie that I'm like, I hate you for this, but I, like, felt bad for her in a weird way.
Yeah, the only relative, I felt better for Donaldson.
Oh, Art Donaldson, Mike's
Yeah.
Fast character.
Yeah, like that. His character was just
Screwed
I-
over.
Yeah,
Multiple
absolutely.
ways.
Yes. I mean, just I if we were to do a tier list of who I felt bad for, like, you had Donaldson as, like, the one I felt bad for the most, and then Zendaya's character, and then the other guy, I can't remember, Justin, was it? Or what was it?
Josh O'Connell's the
Jo-
actor. Why can't I think of the guy's name?
I can't remember. Like, Feig or whatever was his last name. I can't
Wow,
remember.
why can't we both not... Hold on.
We're so good at names.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was a jerk. Wait, hold
Yeah.
on. Why can't... Patrick.
Patrick.
Yeah.
Why can't I remember Patrick?
I don't know why.
Well, yeah, so basically you got Donaldson, Tashi, and Patrick.
Yeah.
Like, I hated Patrick the most.
Yeah.
Like, no questions about
I
it.
don't think how you can like him.
Like, there weren't really too many redeemable qualities about him, except maybe at the end, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you know, you were talking about the beauty of this movie, like, you know, regards to, like, how Luca makes, you know, this whole movie look good, especially since it was shot on film. But, you know, like, he makes everything so sensual, too.
Yeah.
Like, and not always, like, in a sexual way, but, like, just sensual, just... we were talking... The Applebee's. There's a scene where they, like, go into... Two characters meet up in an Applebee's. And it starts out where it's, like, focused on, like, two... You know, when you're at a dine-in restaurant and you're staying there talking with someone for a long time and you've done with the food, there's maybe a few things on your plate, and you're just having a good old conversation. Restaurant's almost about to close, and there's, like, maybe two other stragglers that are, like, on the other side of the restaurant or further, like, slightly further down the way. Like, he kind of starts there and then just slowly pans to our main characters. And I was like, dang, you made an Applebee's feel sensual. Bro.
But Ethan and I really, like, we love Call Me By Your Name, Bones and All, like, all those other stuff.
Well, I'm not sure about Bones and All.
Well, okay. We like Luca so much that we always kind of joke, because he's super Italian, that when he directs his movies, just like, more sexy. And that was the one scene I really thought of. Luca's like, I can make this sexier.
I could make it sexy.
That you do it so much
I don't
better
even know
than
if he
I.
talks like that, to be honest. Is Luca Italian? I feel like the name just kind of makes it Italian, but, like, I
I'm
don't even know.
sorry if you're not Italian, Luca. We just assumed.
Yeah, that could be bad.
Uh,
But your movies are great, and we
Your
love them.
movie-
We're here for you.
Really? Oh my goodness. I think also just like we were looking into it. I think this could go for like best original screenplay. Like I think this could be up in the conversation because it does such a good job like exploring the time. So this takes place over like 13 years pretty much. And so they jump time a lot, but I never was confused.
Yeah, I it really did feel like a volley back and forth of time.
Like a tennis. That was dumb.
No, of like basketball. Yeah.
Ah!
No, yeah, it felt exactly like that. And by the way, Justin Kuritzkis, forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong, is the writer of this screenplay, and just wow, excellent writing. Like a lot of stuff I would not have thought to put up in my screenplay if I were writing it, but there's one scene in particular I think Annmarie would know what I'm talking about. That takes place in a hotel room.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, I gotta say though, the movie was not marketed all that well.
Oh, this needs to be a whole conversation.
Yeah.
We both walked into this movie not really knowing what to expect and pleasantly surprised. I think we both can say that we enjoyed this film, but
yes.
wow, this was marketed horribly.
Like, I get the idea of like, okay, it's sexy tennis. Zendaya like, I mean, they basically portrayed it in these trailers as like she's a homewrecker. She's coming in between these two best buds, and like they're playing tennis, and that was it.
Yeah.
It felt more like that should have been a teaser than any of the other trailers.
What do you think should have been added in a little bit to like sell this movie?
The idea that they were married,
Oh.
I think, is a big thing that could really entice people to watch the movie more.
Yeah.
There's this idea that, which, by the way, the marriage thing, it's not a spoiler at all. It's like within the first bits of the movie.
Yeah, you kind of feel like the two end up together.
Well, yeah, not only that, but again, they show that they're married early on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why didn't you have that mentioned in the trailer? I think it adds to that whole dramatic dynamic and intrigue, that a lot of people would want to see in a movie like this. Of like, okay, who are these people relative to each other? Instead, the trailers kind of make it just come across as it's a dude, it's another dude. They just happen to meet this really good girl tennis player, and they just have this threesome dynamic, and it kind of felt a little generic in that way.
I feel like the marketing really played off who's involved with it. You have Amy Pascal, you have Zendaya, you have Luca, you have Josh O'Connell. Like, they really play off who's in this movie, which doesn't work. Like, we've seen that before. Like, you can have the most famous people in a movie and it not work. And so I agree with you. I think they really need to start marketing movies, be like, this is what you have. Like, this is how awesome it can be and everything.
Yeah, like, this is the money we put into this story.
Yeah.
We want to show to you, the audience, like why you are paying these dollars, what story you're seeing for your dollar.
Yeah.
Instead of just sex, like tennis,
sexy
ambiguity. I mean, because the trailers just make it seem like The Last Duel, for example, right?
Yeah.
That marketing was so poorly done, where it just made it seem like this movie was you screwed over my wife. I'm mad about it. We're gonna fight to the death or like have a joust or whatever. And instead, like from, like everyone said, no, this movie is so much more than that, and it should have gotten a lot more praise, and box office success. But the marketing misled people to think that was just like two dudes having a big dick contest and having a joust about it.
And Ridley Scott would never.
No, his ego is too small.
No, yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, but this movie, like, man, like, go see it. Like, it's such a fun movie. And, like, in an editing perspective, because I really like editing, it was so interesting.
Interesting is definitely the word.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't say, like, the whole movie with editing was perfect.
No.
Like, there's a specific instance where someone's just lying down on a bed head first, and there's, like, a quick, like, 5 different cuts
Yeah.
of that, and I'm like, whoa, that was weird. Like, it just kind of felt like it was someone else editing the movie there for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some sequences where I'm like, oh shoot, how do you do it? Like there's this scene with a like almost from the perspective of tennis ball. I think it's in the trailer. But like when you see the entirety of that scene, it's like, how did they do that? Like,
Yeah.
where did they cut?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
So I guess to end our spoiler-free review, how many sexy tennis balls, if a tennis ball could be sexy, how many sexy tennis balls would you give it out of 10?
Listen, if Luca can make tennis sexy, I'm sure he can make a tennis ball sexy. I honestly really enjoyed this. It's not perfect. It's a little long. We talked about this. I think you could shave off about 15 minutes to it. But to have Zendaya come out swinging for the fences for, like, her first, like, not real role, but for her first, like, really, like, dramatized role, I honestly am going to give it a 9.
A 9?
I really enjoyed this.
9 tennis balls out of 10 for Annmarie.
Oh, yes.
Which, by the way, if she's swinging for the fences, she's playing tennis wrong.
Yeah.
She's playing tennis like me, where I played it like baseball, like swung it out, like, oh, wow, that's a home run, right?
Can you tell we both played soccer? We have no idea what we're doing.
We sport. So I would say on my end that I would give this movie a 9 as well.
Wow. Okay.
My main gripe is with, like, I thought there could have been a little more cut from it.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it does fall maybe on the editing side of things.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if, it was Luca's decision to, like, with him maybe having final cut on this project, for him to be like, oh, I don't like this scene being, like, as fast as it. I want it to be slower and more sensual.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, cool. I mean, I feel like at the end it does drag on a bit.
Yeah, it's a little, the third act is definitely too long.
Yeah, and it's just like, dang, man, you make this climax feel like it should be, like, way too slow. And we all know that a good climax should have a good speed.
Yeah.
That leads to a good climax. But, sorry, you probably should have said to keep the kids away from the speaker. But... But anyways, so I would give it a 9 out of 10. Yeah, 9 out of 10 tennis balls. Luca,
tennis balls.
Sexy. I forgot. Yeah, sexy tennis
Sexy
balls.
tennis
They gotta be
balls.
sexy. Put them in a nice suit. Put them in a nice dress. Whatever you want to do. They gotta be sexy.
Can I start off the spoiler review with something?
All right, we are at match point.
Spoiler review.
Spoiler review has begun.
I feel like Luca sat down and watched Emma Stone and Kristen Dunst's tennis movies and was like, what did I take the Spider-Man actress and make it more sexy?
I don't think the accent is working for either
No,
of us.
it's really not.
But
I love that this is like a paradox. The Spider-Man MJ / Gwen Stacy tennis paradox.
yeah, and not only that, but, like, you have the soldier, Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
They end up being distressed soldiers and all that.
Poor guys. The girls get all the fun, don't they?
It's like, you go to war, you go hit a ball back and forth.
Make it sexy, though.
Gotta make it sexy. If you don't make it sexy, you're fired.
Wow. I never thought tennis would be so interesting.
Honestly, like, tennis is very back and forth with me, and I guess, it inherently is, but it is back and forth with me where sometimes it's just, I don't know, I get bored by it sometimes, and then sometimes like, oh wow, this is really engaging,
I think the camera angles in this too were just so engaging. Like like your thing of like the when they hit the ball back and forth and it comes straight to the camera. It was so cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
I also like how they actually had the scoreboard. Like,
Yeah.
like a graphic almost that was just kind of like on the corner there that kind of made it feel like you were watching it on TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which, yeah, I mean, it just really helped with the immersion, which is weird because you think putting you outside of the screen with the graphic kind of would pull you out of it, but the way he blends it with the shots without the graphic, it just works so well.
Yeah. I love the little nuances in this too. Like they call back to a lot of stuff. Like one of the things is Zendaya's character goes off to college and she's like, I don't want my only skill to be hitting a tennis ball with a racket. And then later on she's like, well, my only skill is to hit a tennis ball with a racket. And I don't know, that was just really fun. Also, I love that we don't know if they were peaches or not, but we're gonna say they were peaches. Luca, thank you for putting peaches in all your movies.
Yeah, you know what? If those are peaches, I mean, they kind of look like apples. In
we're
the
gonna
room.
say they're peaches.
Yes, for our hearts, we are gonna say they were peaches.
Oh.
It'd be kind of funny if like he took the peach from Call Me by Your Name and just kind of like put it on the side. It's like nobody knows. Just like guy have that Stan Lee-esque continuity.
It's the Peaches cinematic universe.
Yes. Gotta have a peach with every Luca movie. Are there peaches in Bones at all?
I'm pretty sure there is like a fruit bowl.
Yo, let's go.
You're like Luca.
The
peaches.
PCU.
Luca, you're the best. The PC. I didn't catch that. Can we talk about the ending too? Because the ending is kind of
the
where...
slow ending.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, like when we say this movie could be shaved down, it's the slow-mo at the ending of just sweat.
Like, and it's
cool, but
it's fine. Like, the sweat.
long.
Honestly, it's not even the sweat shots. It's just like the shots where it's like, oh, am I going to decide to
let him win?
let him win.
Yeah, Patrick. Zendaya's character goes to Patrick, and she's like, let my husband win. He's like, I don't know.
And it's like, what you guys? It's like, well, I'm gonna have sex with you.
Yeah. And then he does the dick move of, like, call back to earlier, be like, I had sex with your wife.
Basically.
But then,
oh, yeah. Okay, sorry, I just caught that.
you didn't catch that?
Like, I knew that he was doing that, but I thought that was kind of like just a sign to say, like, you know, you're being fucked.
Oh, that's so interesting you saw it that way.
Yeah.
I read it as, like, he's like, I had sex with your wife.
Yeah, you know, that's probably what it is.
No,
honestly, it's 100% what it is.
Yeah, we get it.
Ethan was wrong. Subjectivity out the window.
The ending of it, though, is, like, me and you were both confused because how it ends is Art jumps over the net, basically, but gets the point, and then Zendaya screams at the end. It's like the trailer shot. Like, she screams at the end. But we were like, wait, isn't that a foul?
Like, yeah, I thought that would be like a violation or something.
Yeah.
So definitely one of them won.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that's not the case. Because if it was over, then they would have to, or if he got the point, then he would have to, like, serve it again.
Yeah, I feel like it's left too open in a weird way. But, like, how do you end a movie like this? Like, it is a threesome movie. Like, how do you end it?
Polygamy?
Ah, sister wives, but with guys.
Oh, polyamory, right? Polygamy. Yeah, polygon.
We love all. No, but like really, like how else do you end this movie with it? Because like it's just interesting. Like the lead up to it, like I loved the first act, I loved the second act. It kept my attention really well. The third act is just like the game, and it didn't hold me as well as I thought the other two acts would have.
Yeah, I mean, it just... with it slowing down, because this whole movie relied on a good blend and balance of slow sensuality, and fast-paced tennis action, and sex action. And rallies in both ends. But, you know, that ending just kind of... where it really slowed down, it kind of loses that balance, and it like tips over a bit, and
It doesn't stick the landing, I feel like.
Yeah, well, I'd say it falters. Like, it sticks the landing enough, but you could tell, oh, there was a little bit of a falter there, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, because, I mean, I liked the ending overall, except for those two things.
Mm-hmm.
The weird decision to drag on there with, like, oh, I'm gonna cheat. Or, like, I'm gonna lose this game on purpose. And I also screwed your wife. Let me stare at the camera for a solid 5 to 10 minutes
Oh my god.
before I actually make my decision here. And then sweat some more on the camera.
Sweat some more.
Yeah, and then also the other part being that this is just, the whole shebang there, like, the violation thing.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Well, it was a sexy tennis movie.
it was a sexy time and tennis movie.
We love it. Go Zendaya.
Yeah. So, hey, did you guys go see the challenge? Is it Challengers or the Challengers?
No, Challengers.
Okay, Challenger. I'm challenged to answer that question.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, did you guys go see Challengers? Did you guys like it? Do you think it's Zendaya's best role?
Yeah.
Do you think it's Luca's best movie? Do you think it's better than Call Me by Your Name?
Oh.
Whatever you're thinking, let us know in those comments down below. And thank you for joining us on this episode of Cassette Take. We hope that you haven't ejected this far into the review, but if you have, please don't forget to rewind. I've been Ethan.
I'm Annmarie, the CEO of the Peach Cinematic Universe.
And don't forget to make your movies sexy.
Sexy movie.
Sexy movie.